On this episode of Playlog, we're talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of releasing indie games in early access. Hey guys, CGDannyB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming and don't record the same episode twice in one day because OBS crashed. That's fine. But of course you can't talk indie games low because that'd be super boring. So I've got my partner in crime, the Playlist kid themselves, Tofr. What's poppin', homie?
I am totally ready for a brand new conversation that we didn't have for the past 45 minutes.
Oh, I hate our lives. It's fine. It's fine. Context, we recorded. It seems like OBS tried to update, which crashed the recording, and the MP4 just got lost. And I know they're like recording MVK, whatever the fuck. But that's a terrible file size. It takes up too much space. You gotta convert it weird way. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's annoying. Just OBS, be nicer to me, please. Anyway, that's the only thing I complain about. Regardless. Yeah, we're talking about indie games. Let's see. The first time we talked about how hot I was. Check out my Instagram. Look at my cool new selfies.
Yeah, they're really hot. Like the flannel in the woods. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking fine. That was like a 5-minute conversation before. This time you just get the plug. So go follow us on Instagram at CGDannyB at PlayNiceKids with underscore. No, periods on Instagram.
No, I don't know.
Damn, you don't know.
Let me check.
You can find out by checking the link tree of Play Nice Kids, which is in the description, and find Tofr's Instagram.
It's in one word on Instagram. Play
One
Nice
word.
Kids.
No symbols.
Nope.
Still waiting for the play. Nice. Kids with the question marks. Just the different. Whatever the next social media is, you gotta grab both. You should grab just Play Nice Kids with dots and or underscores, and then grab
Maybe
Play Nice Kids with the question marks. Just so you have both accounts, and then that's like your spam meme account for the Play Nice Kids.
that's where I just go off on things that I don't like.
Exactly. Now
Play
you're
nice?
thinking.
I don't think so.
Not me. Real quick before we get rolling, we do some housekeeping. Hey, the July releases video is out. If you want to know what indie games come out in July, you can check that out. It's on youtube.com/CGDannyB. Be sure to check that out. Right to the point. Also, another quick reminder, as part of our podcast, we do our bi-monthly book club, where for the months of June and July, we'll replay some indie... I fucked that up. We'll replay some indie classics or some modern indies that we just haven't played yet. For the months of June and July, we'll be playing American Arcadia. I've explained this game enough, guys. Go play American Arcadia. It's out on Steam, Switch, or Steam, PlayStation, Xbox. You can play the game. Give us your thoughts in the description at the form. Fuck me. I'm a bastard right now. I can't get these words out. You write a form in the description to give us your thoughts on American Arcadia for our July 29th episode of Playlog Podcast. You can join us live on twitch.tv/CGDannyB for the discussion, or catch the upload on Thursday the 31st on youtube.com/@CGDannyB or audio podcast services. Timestamp. Perfect. Hey, quick indie news. This game's delisted. Tofr, we read it last time. We don't necessarily have to read it again. Do you want to like summarize what happened?
I can read it again.
You know what? I won't stop you. Go for it. Run
People haven't heard my smooth voice.
I did.
Go over this article. You did.
That's true. Yeah.
The people, Danny. The people.
The people. Run it, dog. Go ahead. Tell us what happened here.
John Wick Hex is being removed from Steam and all other platforms this week, according to a statement released by the game's publisher, Big Fan Games. Quote, John Wick Hex will be removed from sale on all platforms beginning July 17th, 2025. The statement shared on the game's Steam page reads, after July 17th, 2025, existing owners of John Wick Hex will still be able to access the game via their digital libraries on PC and console and or physical copies on console. However, new purchases of John Wick Hex will not be possible regardless of platform or storefront. Developed by Bithell Games and released in 2020, John Wick Hex is a cel-shaded tactical strategy game in which players take on the role of the King of Revenge himself. The game plays a bit like a board game, and its combat is time-based, not turn-based. So in addition to managing health and ammo, players must also manage the most valuable resource of all, time. Each action eats up some of that time, from a fraction of a second to reload to multiple seconds to bandage up wounds. Run out of time and you fail the mission. Big Fan Games' statement didn't detail the reason for the game's impending removal, but given the fact that the publisher is mainly known for publishing licensed games, it's possible the publisher's license to use the John Wick IP has expired and not been renewed. John Wick Hex is currently the only official John Wick game on the market. Now that last sentence is so weird to me. How have we not gotten more John Wick games?
It's super weird, right? Because like John Wick is such this popular like movie franchise, and I guess I sit there, right, and think about nowadays how many movie tie-in games we actually get. Like, it's such a more flash in the pan. It's such an early 2000s thing to do. But like, I could see some big AAA studio, maybe like an IO, who I think is doing GoldenEye right now. I could see them doing something with John Wick. But also, like, we mentioned this earlier, but in like the IGN comments, when I saw this post on Instagram, one of the comments was just like, dude, Sleeping Dogs-esque John Wick game would be sick. I'm like, yeah, dog, I'd fuck that up. That'd be really cool. I love Sleeping Dogs. But yeah, this is a sucky, shitty thing, especially we're already talking about game preservation and how like so many games are unplayable now just either you don't have the platform for it or they're not available on modern consoles, and then you get an emulation and people are like, no, it's illegal, but it's illegal to rip, not download, and blah 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 blah, you know, whatever the case is. Just sucks at knowing another game that may not be super popular. A lot of people seem to be like, I didn't know this game existed, but like it's still someone's favorite game out there and they just can't play it now if they don't have it downloaded. Someone out there isn't paying attention to games news. They're like, I love John Wick Hex. I can't wait to go back and get the platinum or complete it 100%. They have it uninstalled to make room in their PC. They go to download it again. Why can't I have it? What happened to it? Or actually, I guess they said you can keep it, but so that was a bad example. But someone out there is like, I can't wait to buy John Wick Hex on my 90th birthday when I can finally afford it. And then they go and buy it and they can't download it because it's off the store. Yeah, that was a that worked better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. It also makes me wonder because Bithell Games' most recent two games were both Tron games.
Right.
So other licensed properties. So is that going to happen to those games as well?
It's a big chance at it,
See.
especially because now Tron are hitting like Disney, right? So like, I mean, maybe Disney just... Actually, I guess, is it on Disney or is it on the publisher? Maybe it's less of a deal.
I'm not sure who exactly has to pay to keep that license going. If that's a Disney thing, you're like, oh yeah, just keep a Tron game in the Wild Shore. Just fucking throw the cash at it. We're fine.
Yeah.
Not that I think John Wick should have any problem with money either, but I don't know. I think these are weird things, and if this is a sign of what's to come from Bithell Games in the future, of like our back catalog doesn't exist because they keep ending publishing licenses, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But
I also don't like that. Like, Big Fan Games is a Devolver joint, so...
Oh, okay.
Bad Devolver. Bad.
Damn. Devolver, how could you do this?
Yeah. Don't take our games away.
Yeah. Oh, it does suck. But, yeah, I mean, if you're seeing this, I don't think I have a date. They said this week it comes off the store. So I don't know if that means...
July 17th. So
Okay,
by
so
the time this episode
comes
goes
out.
up.
Yeah, okay. Then, hey, you should really check right now if you're listening to this. See if John Wick Hex is still available. And if it is, grab it. And if not, it's okay. Best of luck. We'll find it somewhere. Probably not. Bet. But, timestamp, that was our quick indie news, which means we'll hop into the topic of the show. Tofr, for a while, we've wanted to talk about early access just as a concept, what it means for gamers, for the industry, for developers, you know, what kind of stigmas come along with it. So I guess we would just start. And what do you think of early access?
I'm glad that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'm less glad that it's become this muddled mess of varying quality.
Yeah.
Depending on which release you get. It's become like this moniker for games that are just not finished, but that can take on very different ideas. Like, it can be the gameplay that still needs to be refined, the difficulty that needs to be set right, but it can also just be more content that needs to be added.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are plenty of developers who are using early access maybe not in the right ways.
Okay. You think they're just not putting the full effort into it, or they're like using it too early in their development cycle? When you say not using the right ways,
more too early in the development cycle. For example, some of these early access titles could have been public playtests.
Sure.
And I get that they don't get the money from that,
right?
Because playtests are still free as of now. But yeah, it's become a bit muddled. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat, right? Where we talked about 2024 being the year of these like banger early access with Hades 2, Pow World, Fields of Mystria, Manor Lords. You know, I'm sure there's one I totally forgot to mention that's an obvious pick, right? Where, like, though that's awesome, like, early access coming out and be like, this game is fun and feels like feature complete. I do think it comes with a new stigma for early access, which was very prominent at the beginning of the year, which anyone watched the video version, we're playing the trailer for Hyper Light Breaker. That was probably our first big, like, early access release this year, and it was kind of fumbled. People were like, it doesn't feel good, it's too challenging, the things aren't explained very well, like, health is something you have to unlock, like, healing potions is something you have to unlock as opposed to just having, but you have an inventory slot for it, just not the item, and that's not explained well. Like, it had a lot of issues, which I think is valid for early access. I think it leaves it to, like, hey, our game's not complete, and it comes with either the idea of we're putting it out there to build it with the community, or like, hey, fiscally we gotta put some money in the pocket, so we're giving you the option to buy it now. No, it's not complete, we're trying to fix it, and the goal is to work with you, see what you like, what you don't like, or what things you'd like to see change, and continue to evolve it, so that way by the time we get to 1.0 and the full game is out, new people buying it will have the game that is built on your experiences, right? And I think for some that's awesome. I think trying to sell the common gamer on help us make the game as opposed to just play the game we made that you're going to enjoy is really tough. Because you have to then establish, like, hey, you're trying this out, you're going to find what's wrong with it, you're going to tell us what you don't like. But most people come home to, like, I just want to play my game. Like, I didn't come home to work, I didn't buy a game to clock in for another job, right? Like, that's a struggle. So I think being not required, but expecting to go in to be like, cool, I have to now tell you how to fix your game, does set a bad taste in the mouth for people who are like, I just won't buy things in early access and I'll wait till the 1.0. But again, some devs thrive in that early access. Like, this is the money we need to keep developing. And if we can't keep developing, then the game doesn't come out. It's just simple as that. So it's a tough thing that I think a lot of devs have figured out and a lot haven't. And I think that might just be a Steam assistance thing maybe of how we change it to make it better for everyone.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the first time we had this conversation, that I feel like Steam could be better suited to, like, different kinds of early access. Yeah. Maybe we talked about having games like Hades and Hades 2, Fields of Mystria being these feature complete games that just lack some of the content that's going to be in the finished product. Yeah. Compared with games like Hyper Light Breaker, which still need a lot of refinement gameplay wise. And my suggestion was to make a separate category for games that are basically feature complete but just aren't done yet.
Yeah, I think it's and I think my response to that was something to the effect of, like, I'm not opposed to it, but I think it muddies the waters again of, like, what is early access and then what is this new premier access, you know, whatever we choose to call it, right? Is we have unreleased and then 3 versions of release where it's like early access 1.0, early access 2.0, and then version 1.0. So there's, like, all these different ways of what that looks like. And I think it's tough for, I use the example of, like, I think back to my GameStop days of grandma coming in and being like, my grandson wants a PlayStation. Like, which one, man? I'm like, I'm not sure. The new one. I'm like, okay, well, there's PlayStation 4, there's a Slim, there's a, you know, there's the Pro. They're like, which one's the cheapest? I'm like, well, it'll be this one. And it's like, okay, I'll take that one. And then they want, like, the thing that's, oh, well, that's an add-on for the Pro. So if you get that, it's not going to work. And that there's, no, I don't think there's anything actually like that. But, you know, it's the murky of, like, what exists here that the average consumer or grandma or grandpa or mom or dad can come in and be like, I want to get this thing for my kid. Simple and easy. Because, you know, kids say, and I use Fortnite as an example, which is not, I don't even know what happened with that. For the longest time, if you hopped on a Fortnite Battle Royale, it just said beta at the top of the screen. I don't ever recall them being like, hey, our game's out. We're in 1.0. Like, we've completed it. As far as I'm aware, and some Fortnite head out there could probably correct me, like, I didn't see this big announcement that, hey, Fortnite's done. We're out, baby. Like, this is what 1.0 of Fortnite looks like. Maybe they did. And it just was a quiet release because Fortnite's fucking Fortnite. It didn't fucking matter. But, yeah, it just seemed like that just silently left its version of early access. Sorry, microphone. Silently left its version of early access and just said, well, okay. Here we are. We're doing the thing.
Yeah. The reason I think it would be a good idea to separate these two kinds of early access is because with one of them, it feels like the people who play the early access release are more like playtesters,
Sure.
and maybe like they could pay for early access and then be considered in the credits of the game as like playtesters, official playtesters.
Yeah.
Whilst other games, for example, like Hades or Fields of Mystria, those games feel so complete. It doesn't feel like the interaction with the community is what changes the game to become what it finally is in 1.0.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think when we talk about Hades 2, right? And I'm going to mix conversations we had in the first recording that died, rest in peace. We talked about Hades and like Hades 2 and what that looked like for early access, of like, this is a really high quality polished product. Like it's kind of established that when you buy early access, this is what you're going to get. And that's not the case. Hades is like the exception, not the rule kind of thing. But even like with my experience of Hades 2, I would like to go back and play 1.0 whenever that drops, but I have not touched Hades 2 since it released in early access, knowing that like I've beaten it. I beat Chronos. I rolled credits, but there was like no end game. There was nothing to complete. It was just like boss ends. Thanks for playing. Like there wasn't the finality of the story. And then there was the upper levels and everything. Like I've beaten what was there. And I would like to go back and beat Hades 2, like finally, like actually complete it and everything. All the new content. I haven't touched any of the new DLC. But I think if I never got a release there, if Hades 2 never hit 1.0, I'm like, I had my experience. Hades 2 was good. I enjoyed Hades 2. It was a good game to review. But like when it does come out 1.0, what else will I be playing? Will I have time to replay Hades, something I've already like beaten? So I think that's maybe a more personal thing than it is like general overall everyone playing games. But I'm like, oh yeah, I've played through Hades. I've had my experience. Like hit me with Hades 3 now, you know? So I don't know. I feel like I'm probably in a minority there of like, cool, the game's complete and I can play it again. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe people have like, I've already beaten it to, you know, when it was out. Now it's almost like playing DLC. And if you're one that doesn't go back and play DLC, like typically I don't. Maybe it just feels like I'm playing the same game with more. So
yeah, Hades has kind of ruined early access.
Yeah,
for most developers.
Way to go, Supergiant.
Yeah. I have wondered why they did give it an early access release.
Yeah.
They had the framework of the first game, and they knew that people loved that.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting choice for sure. But I feel like if you're a game dev now and you're considering doing an early access release, like the bar has been set impossibly high for some people now.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like that's a great segue here. This conversation that took place a while ago, but we were playing the demo for Hell Clock, which the game that comes out, I think the same day this episode drops, the 17th, I'm pretty sure. But we had a Genie Girl. She was someone in chat. She was in the Rogue Snail Discord talking about their game while I was playing the demo. And she took this quote that was in their Discord. So, quote, due to so many companies making bad use of early access, the Steam users got burned, and now they treat your early access as 1.0 and barely give you a pass or a second chance at anything. This is why we can't have good things. I guess if you're a massively popular company like Supergiant and etc., you could do some good with early access still. But for us, it felt like it would hurt the game more than help its development. This is Mark Venturelli, the game director over at Hellclock. Their first game, which we pulled up the first time, like, what was the game? What was it called?
I can't remember. Relic Hunters?
That sounds right. So Rogue Snail. It was yes, Relic Hunters Legends was their first game, which currently sits on Steam with mixed reviews, right? And they're at 1,000 reviews, and this I can see them being, this was an early access build. People didn't like it. We fixed it, but like how many people went back and reviewed it? How many people re-reviewed it? How many people played again? Or they said they played it the first day, left a review, didn't like it, never came back. Now this game's kind of tainted with that, even though it's been fixed and changed in so many ways of what its final version should be. But people aren't looking at that. And then I think this is a great time where we talked the first time, like how do we combat that? What does Steam have to do, right? So like, what do you think Steam should do for like, oh, we released early access and now we're in 1.0. Like how can we help games get re-reviewed or like get a new score?
Yeah, my initial idea was to add a different segment to the reviews. You have all reviews, then you have recent reviews, and maybe it should have early access reviews as well.
Yeah.
So when the game releases in 1.0, the all reviews thing goes back to 0 reviews.
Yeah.
And only counts the reviews after the 1.0 release.
Yeah, and I like that idea. I think if it's like I don't know what the infrastructure looks like for Steam and like how you can incorporate that, or if that's like a whole, sorry, we have to rebuild from the ground up this certain section, and I don't know Steam's backend, but like, I think that sounds like a great idea of having, even if it's just like a tab or if it shows up as a list of 3, right? Where I do have, here's all the reviews, here's the recently positive, and then here's what was early access, here's what came out at this point. I think the only downside I saw was for the algorithm's sake of pushing a game to the home, like the front page and whatnot, would early access reviews like flounder a new release, right? So like, which I guess realistically, no, but maybe. I guess you could also just like repost them. I think it's anyway. I'll stick with what I'm saying. Like when a game comes out, it doesn't do early access, just 1.0. We put our reviews on day 1, they get bumped up that day. But how many people are who've done early access review, like for Relic Hunters, let's say all 975 of those were early access. Nobody's reviewed it since 1.0. If it will boost them on the front page, right? Or like, affect their standing. Or if like those 975 are like reposted, the moment we're like, hey, it's a new release, it's 1.0, like the game's out. It starts in a mixed review. Like, is that, I don't know. That's rough. I think then you have to shoot like a mass email like, hey, the game you played 6 months ago is in 1.0 now. Like, you want to check it out now and see where the game's at and change your review, or if you just have a new blank slate of like, this is what was reviewed before, this is the new version, try it for yourself and play it. Like, I think that it still puts this status of the game in the hands of who's going to spend money to be like, yes, this game is good. No, this game is bad. But I think with less like, I'll use Cyberpunk, which Cyberpunk was a great example of a game that I'd love to go back and play, but came out just a mess. Didn't work, didn't function. And I know now that it's good. So many people have told me that it's good, and I believe that. I would love to make time for Cyberpunk. But the problem is, it's every game's got its spotlight. It comes out, and it's the new thing I want to play. And me trying to find time to go play Cyberpunk right now when I've played, or I've got 50, 60 other things to play coming out this week, next month. Like, I just want to have time to commit to it. So if the early access release carries over to the new game, like, this is what it once was, I'm like, cool. I know it's the new game now, but there's other new game came out that looks way more exciting for me. You know, how do you justify buying this new thing that already looks negative? So I think it's a tough, like, how do we swirl with it? So yeah, maybe having the new zeroed out reviews is the right way to do it, not carry over early access, but still having it listed would be cool.
Yeah. I just think it would be nice for some early access games. I mentioned Trash Goblin before.
Yep.
Where the game in early access was this really chill game where he just cleaned up some trinkets, upcycled some of them and sold them to people. And then the 1.0 release gets a full-blown story mode where you get to different parts of the town, where you get an actual story going. It feels like the early access reviews aren't indicative of what this game actually is.
Right.
And with early access being so different depending on which game you play, it feels hard. Like, how can you judge on, for example, Hyper Light Breaker when that comes out in 1.0?
Yeah.
And if it's still sitting at mixed reviews, are people going to pick it up even if everything has gotten fixed?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't imagine. But I think that's like in this new era, right, of content creators or media, like we're reviewing games, but also games media can be such a joke to the consumer of like, oh, IGN, they fucking, any IGN review, like, by the way, remember, they gave She-Hulk a 9 or whatever the fuck they gave She-Hulk. Like, people have decided like IGN isn't a justifiable source, which I don't agree with. I think IGN has valid points. I just think a lot of people like to look at the number and not look at the idea of it, which is why I think here in the podcast, right, I like to have a discussion about what the game is, not just say like, the game's bad, see you. Because I don't think that gives the perspective, right? Because I could say, here's a game I'm into. I see these flaws. They're not flaws that bother me, right? So if you're like, oh, that's the thing. Oh, I really don't care about that. I think you'll still love the game. If I say something, you're like, ooh, that sounds pretty bad. I'm like, I like that, but it's interesting you don't. Then yeah, I don't think you'll like the game. That's why I think a discussion is so much more important than a number when it comes to reviewing games, because they are ultimately art. They're a creative thing, and art isn't something you just put a number on to say good, bad, you know. So that's why
And
reviews mean more to them.
Especially since like IGN isn't just one person.
Right, exactly.
every piece of media gets reviewed by someone else, and maybe some people will have like an affinity with certain genres and others won't, so their opinions will differ. So you can't just say IGN sucks.
Right.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, gamers, man, we make a decision and that's locked. That's just fact, man. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. But yeah, I think. Let's see what else we have on here. We had. Oh, is it the reality? When is it early access release a good idea? I mean, do you have anything? So you had when is an early access release a good idea? Do you have a idea for that, or maybe something we've already covered that you feel like?
I feel like most developers have like that same mindset of we want to develop this game together with the community.
Yeah.
Which is a really good mindset. Maybe not all of them mean that. Some of them maybe just need the cash. But it's always a good idea to listen to the... But is it?
It's always a good idea to listen to the players.
Maybe
not always.
Maybe it's not. It's cool to have like that interaction though, and see other points of view like outside of the core team that's working on the game. But I feel like some games could benefit from having a public playtest instead of early access.
Yeah.
And I feel like when those playtests have been positive, then you can still consider an early access release if the game's not finished yet.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you do choose to involve the community, you need to listen to them. We mentioned Hyper Light Breaker a lot here, but I feel like when that game was first playable at like these conventions, I heard the exact same comments that I'm hearing now from the people who play it in early access, and I'm like, wait, why didn't you change these things? So yeah, if you're willing to open up that line of communication, make use of it.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same spot as you, right? And I'll harken back again. We had last year this great year of early access releases, but I think even all of those are, though they're like incomplete, like technically speaking, they're not 1.0. They felt like it. Like Fields of Mystery being the big one for all the cozy gamers. That like people love Fields of Mystery, and when it even got to the end, like I remember you being like, "I've beaten what's available. I'm waiting for the next big update." And then you played the update and talked about what new stuff came out. And that almost just feels like, oh, the game came out in 1.0 and it's just getting DLC expansions, as opposed to this game came out early and now they're adding things that will be in the main game, which even saying like the main game is such a weird, like, this is it. It's just not legally speaking done. Like Steam doesn't show that it's done. But when it is done, I've played all of it, right? Or I've continued to update and play as I go through. Whereas I think for me, I most of the time prefer to be like, cool, I check out this game when it's out and it's done. And I even say this almost in like the Telltale fashion, right? Like Telltale used to do episodic, but you got new episodes every couple months, which became like, oh, well, I've played this episode, or I've watched this episode of a TV show. I guess I'll play it again in 2-3 months, or I could just wait till it's all out. And that was usually, I think I was like the ultimate detriment to Telltale of like, they couldn't release a game and get the financial earnings fast enough, because you're like, cool, by the time someone either played episode 1, like I'll see you in a year when the whole thing's done, and then be like, I finished episode 1, I didn't care enough to come back. Or you have to wait, like, oh cool, Wolf Among Us is out, I'm just gonna wait till the whole thing's out, and like, well, we had to work on 5 episodes, we can't, there's no money coming in, what do we do? I think early access shares a similar thing of like, you put the game out expecting people to buy it now and then play it now and play it later. And I'm trying to think if I had this conversation in the first episode of this one. Did I talk about Cyberpunk in this cut, or was that the first cut?
You just talked about Cyberpunk.
Okay, cool beans. Then back to the Cyberpunk thing, where I was just like, yeah, it's a game that came out and had its spotlight, but a million other things are coming out, and trying to make room for the old things again. Like, I'm very much old game is old. I won't never replay a game, but most of the time, if I want to replay something, I won't, because I have so many other things to do. Like, it usually has to be like, hey, it's an anniversary thing for stream. Like, let's knock out a Cuphead, or let's like, I think like we were talking here in August, trying to do like a Cult of the Lamb stream, for the anniversary. Like, oh, I haven't played any of the DLC because I got the platinum before any of it came out, like type deal. So, like, I think those could be fun things. But, yeah, I think early access is such a valuable thing for developers, again, especially when you need to like continue to fund your games. So you need to put out something. But I think putting out a bad something is tainting it worse for later. I think it's hard to come out and recover that. And I think going off what Mark said, right, with Relic Hunters and talking about like they treat it as your 1.0, people won't change that. I think that comes to what is Steam doing to help re-review those games, because I can't imagine Steam succeeds on having negative games on their platform. I mean, maybe they don't care all that much. I couldn't really speak to like what Steam staff looks like, but if your game came out and like, oh, our game's really good now, but it came out bad, like in early access, and now it's better, like I would think like, hey, ping everyone who got this. Like in my Steam library, there's a new like big yellow check mark, and yeah, maybe this is annoying. Maybe you have to do the notification. Like the only way to go away is like to click on it and be like, cool, this game's in 1.0 now. Like, try it out again. Do you want to re-review it? Do you want to see what it is now versus what it was, so that developers have a chance to have new life on a game that came out poorly at first, but. Bug me.
It's interesting that you mentioned the episodic releases, because that made me think of another early access game that I absolutely love, which is Scarlet Hollow.
Okay.
Which has been in early access for 4 years now.
Yeah.
And that's an episodic one. So we already have, I think, the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
No, the first 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I've played through them. Now, the branching narrative of this game is really intricate. So I want to like save this save file, and when the next episode comes out, I want to continue that save file. The thing is, with Slay the Princess now coming in between all of those episodes, I have forgotten all of what I played so far. Yeah. So I will probably have to replay it all again, especially because they added a whole ton of extra narrative to the first 3 episodes.
Right.
And I'm in two minds about it, because I wanted to see how my initial decisions would turn out with the next chapters. And now I won't get to find that out because I can't remember what I played yet. But yeah, it's interesting. There's like what's a good development cycle within early access as well. Some games remain in it for like a number of years. Some games just a couple of months. I feel like it's too easy to just label things early access and that's it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if Steam has any kind of rules for what that. I mean, it doesn't seem like it. Like, how long can you be in early access? I think that's more of a detriment to the team, if anything. If we're like, yeah, our game's out, but it's not out, we'll see in like 10 years when it's done, right? And I'm trying to think off the top of my head, like, what's a game that's been early access the longest? Like, is Lethal Company still early access? I'm sure there's something before that, but like, I don't even know if that had a 1.0.
Let me see. Lethal Company is in early access.
Yeah, and that was 23?
23, yeah.
Yeah. So, but like right now, like Repo's the thing, right? Like no one's really playing Lethal Company. So like, are they going to push to hit that 1.0 sooner than later? Like, is that going to be their plan? I mean, they hit, so version 70 came out at the end of May. So there's a recent update for it.
Okay.
But like, what does a 1.0 look like for them? Do they eventually just say, hey, the game's out now, and then maybe that's the week of revitalization, we're all playing I was gonna say Lethal Company again, like, cool. But I don't know. I guess it also depends on your game, right? Because again, we have repos, we have Lethal Companies that are very like, they're fun, they're in early access, but like I wouldn't even sit there and think about those as early access games, because they're this endless roguelike that just, when you die, you start over. Like, unlike a Hades, which is a roguelike that has finality to it, that has a story to finish, like I can see that's incomplete. Whereas Repo and Lethal Company are just, oh cool, the game's out, it's done, but then we have something more to come later with new weapons, new enemies, new maps, new whatever. So like new things come out, and that's always cool. So I think that's a weird case of how do I differentiate those two types of early access games, and then how to differentiate a Hyperlight Breaker, which is just another roguelike like Hades, but it's bad. It doesn't run well. It has poor explanation for players. Or something like Call of Boba, which is like this cool little cozy adventure game that just has really bad UI. And it's like people left negative reviews. I wish it was better. And then we checked, I think again in the first recording now, but there were updates to it and new like UI changes, but like I hadn't seen any updates. And if I'm not following the game, to like paying attention to like, hey, Call of Boba got updates, I'm not going back to check it out. I'm not thinking like, I can't say I necessarily have Call of Boba on my list of I need to go back and check this out this year, like to see what updates came out. I kind of had my finality with it and said, what else is releasing? So,
yeah.
I'm part of the problem, Tofr.
No, I wonder if early access creates like a stigma for games. Because you mentioned Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But I want to mention No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
That game didn't have an early access release and was an absolute bomb when it dropped.
Yeah.
And then they released DLC and updates and made it into the game it could have been. So that game didn't have the early access stigma with it. Would that have made it easier for them to turn things around, you think?
I think what made it say quote easy for them to turn around was the backing of PlayStation, and maybe not even like a financial thing, just a marketing thing. I think every time they put out a new update, they had their trailer out of PlayStation State of Play or whatever big, a Game Awards showcase of like, hey, No Man's Sky Beyond, No Man's Sky, whatever the other 70 update packs were or whatever. Like, I think they had a chance to be like, interesting, this game's still alive. I got to see what it's like. Versus, again, Call of Boba. Like, they put out their updates, but I don't see them at the Game Awards being like, the version 1.0 is here and everything's fixed with, the new coat of paint and everything. Like, I have to go look for that. So I think that even takes it off of Steam, and that's a matter of who's shoving it in whose face to tell me that the game is good again, Like what creator, and maybe that's a content avenue to explore, right? Of like we review early access games, or like I played Hyper Light Breakers sometime, or blah blah blah. Like I set aside time to like I played it now. Here's what I think of it in, August 2025 as opposed to February. I forget when Hyper Light Breaker was earlier this year. January, yeah. So January 2025 versus August 2025, and here's where it's at now. Like maybe there's people that need to have the platform to do that. Is that another thing I put on my schedule? Not right now, but yeah, I feel like sometimes people just have to be told that game is good now when it's an early access release, because it seems like Steam's not telling us.
No, there's not. They don't notify players of, except for like the email you get when it releases in 1.0. But otherwise, you don't get any notifications when updates are pushed out, unless you keep an eye on like when you go to your library. Yeah. And then at the top you have like what's new. Uh-huh. But how many people actually take notice of that? I don't know.
I rarely do. I see it, but I usually scroll past it just to get the game I'm playing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Early access, man. Let me see. We had how does it help gamers? I guess realistically it's people getting to play a game early, excited about. Like Hades is one that like Hades 2 we'll keep referring to. Shadow dropped, but we like knew it was coming, and they're like, by the way, it's out today, and like people who are excited for Hades got to play this game not early. No, like it was kind of just out, but like versus something that, hey, this game comes out at the end of the year, and then when it's finally here, you're excited for it. This game is just available now, something everyone was looking forward to. The same way, like if Silksong would shadow drop today, please don't. People are excited. People are just gonna go drop everything to go play Silksong. So I think what it helps gamers do is play something they've been dying to play, or they didn't even know they wanted to play like now. But I think it just still comes to the detriment of like, you're basically paying to work in a position of making their game better for them by telling them what they did and didn't like. But also, I guess you're not required to do that, but then, you feel burnt out of like, I spent my money on something that didn't live up to what I hoped it would. And if that encourages you to leave a negative review, so be it. But
I wonder if like big games like Life is Strange giving people like a week's worth of early access is to the detriment of actual early access games as well.
I think it can be. I think it's like saying the word early access and the title of early access being two separate things of like, oh cool, Life is Strange, the first I think it was 2 episodes of double exposure, like cool, you can play these a week early, like oh I have early access to this, and like realistically it's not the same. Like on Steam, when I have early access to buy a full game and see if it changes, whatever, this is just, oh I get to watch or play these 2 episodes a week early. But yeah, like even Life is Strange Double Exposure is not the best Life is Strange. I enjoyed it enough to see more Max, but like it's not good. It's fine. But yeah, even if that was like this had early access and it was kind of bad, like might leave a stigma. I would love some organization early access. I'd love to know who, what, where, when, why. If there was some kind of nice bulleted list like this is what early access looks like. This is how we keep our things in check. This is how we help developers move forward with early access. And when their game's fully out, here's how we help more people discover the game if it was bad. Because they say that, right? We talk about the bad ones. We saw a lot of good ones last year. Again, Pal World, it was another one that everyone fucking loved. And if you didn't like it, like you could still see the world loving it. And I have to imagine that's overwhelmingly positive on Steam. Let me see here. Pal World.
Shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. Just very positive. Just very positive. But the Terraria update's out, Tofr.
I don't care.
Now Terraria's in Pal World.
I don't care.
But yeah, like even that still sits in early access. I don't see anything about it coming to 1.0. But Pal World's another weird one, right? Like normally early access is something that's so set up for PC. But I believe Pal World is on both Xbox and PlayStation now, which is still in early access or probably game preview, I think is what Xbox calls it. I don't know if PlayStation has a thing for it. But like this game's not out yet. It's still available to play and complete, right? As far as you can. But there's still more to come, which again feels like it should just be 1.0 with DLC, but
it's a bit of a mess, Danny.
It is. It's a bit of a mess. Early access is a weird thing.
Yeah. Sure is.
Any other thoughts on early access?
Not really. I think I've said my piece.
I feel you. Guys, let us know what you think of early access. Do you like playing early access games? If you could change something about early access, what would you want to change? Let us know what you're thinking in the comments below. Bading, badoom. And that is our discussion on early access. Which means it's time to talk about what we've been playing. Tofr, we've both been playing a game, a musical RPG, called Fretless.
Yes, we have.
I opened my footage and it started screaming at me, but they won't hear that because we changed the audio settings, so it's okay. But yeah, Tofr, what are your thoughts on Fretless so far?
So far, I'm really enjoying it. I'm about 3 hours in, and I really enjoy the setting of this world.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to go up until against this evil music publishing company or something.
Yeah. A record label, super metal music records.
Super metal records, yeah.
Super metal records, yeah.
And you have to do this by fighting monsters using your musical instruments in turn-based battles, which is always going to be something that I love.
Yeah.
But you can... These musical battles feel pretty... I'm not sure standard is the right word. Like it's what you can expect from a turn-based game.
Yeah.
Except that they've added like this rhythm element to it, where if you push the right button at the right time, you get an extra bonus to your attack, or you can block like incoming damage, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
It's a cool world. I like the monsters. They're all based on musical instruments, which is cool. I like the different instruments that you can use, because you can choose which instrument you use to battle these monsters with.
Yeah.
What are your general thoughts?
Yeah, I'm having a blast with this one. I've gotten to speak to developers 2 PAX in a row, PAX East. They're really chill, really cool guys. I watched the trailers. They're like, dude, it's got music featuring this guy and this guy. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I'm not musically inclined enough to be like, it's these people. That being said, I really enjoy the sound of this game. I think there's a liveliness to it where like as you're exploring the world, you'll walk through flowers that are like shaped like bells. So they'll be like a little bing ding ding ding, like you're walking through this like creepy forest that has spiders and they have like a as they like pull themselves up and down on the spray. Like there's so much liveliness to the music as you're exploring the world, which is great. Yeah. And yeah, to delve back in the combat, I'm a big fan because it is for someone who plays like a Paper Mario, right? It is very similar to that, where like if you hit the right moment, you're gonna do that extra amount of damage, which is good for you in the fight. But also it is each attack is set to a like fun little dance or like orchestral moment of like the main character does a little like, oh, put up the energy, wah, 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 bam, wah, 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 bam. And it's like, cool. I don't have to play that whole like musical moment, but I just have to like, once I use an attack, I'm like, okay, I know every time I use this, he's going to do the throw, spin, smack. And there's a pacing to it. There's a tempo to it. And I think that's fun to like learn and play with those. It's not super challenging. It's just really at the end of the day, you just, how long do I have to wait to hit a button? Boom. Like, you know, not as much like a Clair Obscure, which is like, when's this guy going to actually hit when he's winding up his arm, you know? But I've really enjoyed that, as well as the designs of the enemies have been super dope. I am not much farther than you. I think I've beaten the second major boss after getting back from vacation and everything. I haven't put too much time into it yet. Which, speaking of which, at the top of the show, we didn't say we did receive keys for this one, so important to note. But yeah, I like the style of everything. Like there's the Xylamanders, I believe they're called. I don't know if you've seen those yet. Yeah, okay, the Xylamanders, They're really dope, where they're just like salamanders that have like xylophones up their spine. And they'll go to like buff themselves, where they'll take their tail, which is the mountain, like roll it up their spine, so it does like that, like the little xylophone noise, which I think is really fun. There's 4 different weapons, like guitars. I won't spoil like what they are for anyone who hasn't played yet or seen, because right now it's all just the acoustic. But they each have like a kind of gimmick to them, right? Where the first one you unlock is a really cool one, has slap, which is personally my favorite right now because I have a really cool combo with it. But it is you build up a meter at the top, which increases your overall damage. But then there's some cards that are like, use the amount of slap that you have and deal that much damage. But I got a new one that will double what my current slap is. So what I'll do is I'll go in, I'll use the crescendo attack, which is like the ultimate, which maxes out your crescendo. Actually, like more than maxes it out. Like I think it sits like 30 something. And then I had 2 of the double it, which is I doubled it to 60 something, then doubled it to 120 something. Then the attack card was do 5 times your current slap meter. So it was like, what, that'd be 600. 600 slap meter, which is like this holy shit. And it's just a jump up, grab your hand and slap a monster, which was killing a lot of things I was fighting. It's just a matter of I have to build up to that. But I think it's just a fun, like, find your rhythm, pun intended, of like which guitar you like. I've played the 2 like second weapons and they're fine. I like them enough. But I definitely prefer slap. I think is the one I'm most comfortable with. But the game seems
favorite too so far.
Right? It's a good one, dude. I think the game gives you like the freedom to play how you want. I think I did struggle on the second major boss a little bit, where I'm like, you gave me this new weapon right before and I feel like you want me to use it, but I don't quite know how to yet. Then I switch back to swap and I'm like, I'm just better with it. So maybe it was me having to explore and find something to fight with this new weapon before I try to take on a boss with it. But yeah, dude, Fretless is dope. It's got a lot of style to it, and I think people are gonna enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the music in it is really good as well, which is an important thing.
Yeah.
For a musical game. But it, like, one of the small additions to this game that I really enjoy is, for example, you're fighting 3 enemies.
Yeah.
And combat is basically you choose 3 riffs, and then you play those riffs. And you can choose, with each riff, you can choose who to target. Now, for example, if you use all 3 riffs to target one monster, but that one dies after the first 2 riffs, the 3rd riff will target someone else. It doesn't go to waste. And I think that's a really, really good quality of life improvement.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's dope. Like, I remember checking out the demo for this one. It was, so PAX 24. I didn't get to play this one. I literally saw it like on my way out of the convention, talked to devs a little bit. My buddy Jacob was super high on it. The demo came to Steam. I checked it out. I'm like, yeah, this is sick. Went back to PAX this year, 25, and I was like, oh, is it the same demo from Next Fest? Like, yeah. I'm like, cool. Then I played it. I loved it. I'm ready for the full thing. But yeah, I think there's a style to it. There's a simplicity with a challenge to it that's in here. We're currently in like a Discord call with a couple friends. Like it's not a call, but like a private chat where like other creators who've been playing the game were in there. They like, are you playing Fretless? I'm like, I am. Like, I'm adding you. I'm like, okay, cool. And this was right before I went on vacation, so like I've not really contributed to this conversation at all. I just existed in it. But seeing them, like, I got to this point and I got stuck, or like this is a major thing I was doing with like towards one of the end game bosses, but like they put the spoiler tags. I don't know what exactly it is, but I can see they're struggling with like some of the challenge. Like, cool, I changed my weapon and did this and it worked out really well. I'm like, cool. then it seems like I have 2 or 3 people who have completed the game at the time of recording this. And they're all digging it, which I'm glad to hear. Like, a lot of us are really high on Fretless. This is a dope one, I think, for RPG fans as they like look for something new to play. I don't think you necessarily have to be musically inclined to enjoy this. I think you'll appreciate a lot about it. But I think just enjoying the world and the vibe is something that is like really easy to do with Fretless.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I have my notebook where I wrote stuff down in the other room, so I don't have like, what else did I say?
Oh no.
But yeah, Fretless was fun. I can't wait to play more.
It's fun.
But boom, guys, yeah. Check out Fretless. It's on Steam today as this episode coming out, the 17th. I think that's right?
Yeah.
I say at least that's the embargo. I always forget if it's the day before or day after embargo.
No, it's correct. It's the 17th.
Boom. Told you guys. Told you. But all right, let me see. I think I did the timestamp. I'll do another one just in case. You've been playing another game. What you been playing?
I sure have. I've been playing Islanders New Shores, for which I also received a key. This is the sequel to the original Islanders game, in which you built buildings on islands. It sounds stupid when I say it like that, but that's basically what these games do.
Yeah.
You get like this group of buildings, and you have to place them so that you earn as high as possible a score. If you reach a certain score, you will unlock more packs with more buildings. And you just keep growing your islands that way. And once you're done building on one island, you move on to the next one. If you went, like, the first game was really popular, I think.
Okay.
I feel like plenty of people played that one.
Yeah.
I played some of it on my Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
For when I first got my Switch. It's a fun time. Like, it's chill. It's nice to, like, when you're listening to a podcast or watching something and you just want to do something on the side, you can pick this one up. Like, I played it on Steam Deck and it runs so smoothly.
Okay.
The islands themselves are really cool designs.
Yeah,
you have your regular islands, but then you have fantasy settings, you have more icy settings, there's plenty of different kinds of worlds to explore, and it's just a good time. If you're into like city builders, you're gonna enjoy this.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it looks fun. I love the visual style. I'm familiar with Islanders but haven't played it. And it does look like just a podcast watching some kind of show background kind of game where I'm like, cool, I'm just click, drag. And I feel like we've had a lot of these recently that like didn't quite hit the itch for me. Like, I won't name drop, I guess, but some games I'm like, I thought I was going to enjoy this, but it just seems not as fun. Like this seems like it's simple enough, it's objective based enough, but it's not like super overwhelming. It's not like I gotta fully focus on doing some stuff to like excel at the game. And I dig that. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's a fun time. It's a good time sink. Like, you'll start playing this thinking, oh, I'm just gonna do this for like 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like 2 hours have passed.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. You plan to put more time into it then?
Yeah, absolutely. If I find the time.
Oh yeah.
Which is becoming increasingly hard this summer because of all the good games releasing.
Let me tell you. What's sleep? Couldn't tell you. But fuck yeah, Islanders is out. Is that today as of this episode? Or is that one already out?
I think it's already out.
Okay,
July 10th it released.
Cool. There we have it. Team, you can check it out now.
Yeah.
Timestamp again. I have another one. Not super whole lot to say about it, but at the cabin this weekend, we got to check out Balatro again, which I did receive a key for when I got it the first place. So I guess I should mention that now.
Okay.
I brought my Steam Deck and everything with me to the cabin in case I got some free time to play, American Arcade for the book club. Didn't really happen. But I have friends now who are playing Balatro for like the first time or have still yet to play it because it just came to PlayStation Plus. And this was last month, so if you're late and it's not there, but you can still buy it there. You should.
Yep.
But I was playing on my Steam Deck, and my buddy Travis comes in. He's like, "Hey, what is this?" I'm like, "This is Balatro." He's like, "I've heard you guys talking about this. I don't quite get it. Like, it's just poker." I'm like, "It's poker hands, but it's not poker. Like, you're not playing poker, right?" And he's like, "I just don't get it." So he lays down on my bed, and we're like watching on the TV. He's like, "So what are you doing?" I'm like, "All right, so I'm gonna play these cards, and right now I have Jack to the top to do X, Y, Z." But like, I started with a build that was very focused on 3 of a kind.
Yeah.
Where it was like, if I played 3 of a kind, it would give me a +4 modifier. If I played 3 of a kind, it would do whatever else happened. He's like, okay, so you want to do 3 of a kind. I'm like, that's my goal, right? We went to go play a full house. He's like, well, if you do a full house, I'm like, but I don't think that counts as 3 of a kind because it has to be a 3 of a kind. Even though 3 of a kind is in a full house, it's like the hand is not counted. He's like, oh, so we got it. He's like, I just don't understand, but I got it. I'm like, okay, perfect. Let's keep going. I hear the footsteps of my buddy Spencer. Anyone who might have been around the other, like 2-3 weeks ago at this point, I came home at like 2 a.m. with a friend who's like, oh, we should stream. Like, fucking turn it on. We went live playing Balatro like 3 a.m. for us. He's like, okay, cool.
Nice.
Which was fun. It was great. And it was him trying to beat his first run at Balatro, which he still hasn't done. But he joins us now. So it's 3 of us in the bed like, okay, well, if you do this, you do that. But no, I think if we do this, it's going to fuck us up. Do you really think? You're like, yeah, I'd say reroll. So we go to the shop. They're like, reroll. We got a new card. Perfect. New Joker. We ended up building, we got a card that gave us a lot more planets for the hands we were playing the most. And we were playing a lot of straights, apparently. So like, cool. Okay. So we just kept getting more cards to build more and more straights, which were giving us like 20s of thousands of points. I'm like, cool, we got to keep building this. We got to keep doing this. This is the move we take, right? And we were doing PowerPoint night at the cabin, and as we got close to PowerPoint, I'm like, Danny, I'm like, guys, we're on the final ante. Let us finish this. We're about to beat the game. So we've been there like, okay, so if we do this, I got it. Danny, I'm like, guys, wait. We're almost done. We're on the final fight. We get to the final boss. Let's do 100,000. And it's the 3 of us like, okay, if you do this, but then you take this out, and we're like, play a card just to like play a hand to get cards out of your hand, but just play 5 cards you don't need. So we don't waste a discard. You're still going to earn points. It's not going to be a lot of points, but we got to hope. I'm like, I don't know. It's wasting a hand. We're not going to have it. We got to try. We played 1 straight that had, oh God, how did it buff? It was, we got the vote ballot, I think, that replayed the first card twice. Mm-hmm. And then we had the hiker who every time a card was played, he would buff the amount of chips it gave you, right?
Yeah.
But then I got the, I forget what it's called, the blueprint that doubled the card to the right. So I put that next to the voting ballot. So every card, like the first card that was played 5 times. So if we had like a good straight that was like, this card goes ding, 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 ding. But every time it was played, it got buffed by the hiker. So it was ding, 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 like over and over again. So I'm watching this thing go up. And then we had the random multiplier. It was like, what number is it going to give? Is it going to give a 0? Is it going to give whatever? That one's like, here's 27 multiplier. And then our hand played like 90,000 points. Like, we did it, boys. We made it. Yeah. Let's go do PowerPoints. So like, it was just a fun night to get to play with someone who's been trying to beat Balatro for the first time, someone who's never played Balatro, and then someone like myself who's beaten it a handful of times. Not super, super good at it, but I had my good time at Balatro. It was fun to have just a crowd of people getting into Balatro and having fun with it. It was a really good time at the cabin.
Yeah, that must be fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Especially when we got the ones like, oh, this hand's more points. You saw the fire kick in, and Spencer's like, yes, the fire. It was awesome. Balatro's great, guys. Anyone out there still hasn't played it, you just don't get it. You just gotta try it. Go play Balatro.
True.
Yeah.
Highly addictive, though.
Very, very addictive. So prepare to lose your hours. But with that, that's what we've been playing. And it means we're on to indie releases. Tofr, do you want to handle this week?
Sure.
Cool.
These are the releases from July 17th till July 23rd. On the 17th, we have Drillcore coming to PC, as well as The Necromancer's Tale, which is also coming to PC. He Is Coming releases July 17th on PC in early access. Fretless, The Wrath of Riffson releases on July 17th for PC. The Drifter also releases on July 17th for the PC. Sunken Stones comes to PC on July 18th. Monument Valley 3 releases on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC on July 22nd. Hellclock releases on July 22nd for PC. Cypher Zero releases on July 22nd for PC. Undermine 2 releases on PC on July 22nd as well. And then my personal highlight of the week, Wheel World, releases on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC on July 23rd.
Fuck yeah. Stacked week. There's a lot of good shit this week.
Oh, yeah.
17th is busy. Obviously, Fretless we've been playing. Really excited for Wheel World. And then The Drifter is one that I want to keep telling people to check out. Because I was on the Super Saga podcast. Fuck, I'm going to fuck up their name. I'm sorry, T. I'm sorry.
No! Don't. Technical issues.
Yeah, no. I said the name right. It was absolutely the Super Pod Saga podcast. The episode's not out to the public yet. It's currently on their Patreon. It's out. But on that episode, we talked about Crawl, which is a fun multiplayer game where it's like it's a dungeon crawler, but you have 3 players playing the obstacles and the weapons and the monsters, and then 1 person playing the hero, which was really fun. And we're like, what are they making next? I haven't heard from them in a while. We pulled up, I'm like, oh, they're making Drifter. Bet. Drifter's a really cool
from
point.
Those people.
Yeah, very cool point and click adventure. I love the visual style. Very like grungy noir kind of vibe to it. I was a huge fan of the demo like 7 Steam Next Fests ago. And like I don't know if I'll get to this one right away, but I would like to get and play the Drifter. Like I really dug what I played of the demo. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really enjoyed the demo for He Is Coming as well.
Okay.
Which is like this roguelite RPG auto battler.
Yeah.
And it looks very retro, but it really is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Good week, man.
Absolutely.
So yeah, guys, be sure to check out those games. Let us know which ones you're going to pick up. Timestamp. Which means brings us to our penultimate segment here. We're going to talk about some indie spotlights, where we talk about some games that either need some more attention or you guys haven't heard about it yet. You should add to your wish list. This is one I actually found while looking for some indie news. This is called, the escapes on it. Daniel Linssen's Typing Challenge. This is on itch. You can just play it through the browser. But all you do is you type, right? I'm playing this. You look at the map and you can see all the letters. You need to get from the white one to the yellow one. So you just type the letter and they have to be connected. So I'm like, okay, so I'm on X, M. I'm on, whoa, and like the thing flew in, so I died. So I have to redo it. It's a really simple game, but it's like a typing challenge kind of deal. And I need to show that I can somewhat type, right? So I do V, then I do D, L, 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 Danny, L. P, no, oh, I'm at the Z, so I do D, Z. D, L, P, A, boom, then I do F, J, right, then I do A, J, right, and then I do J, S, Z, then I do Z, A, Q, sorry, audio listeners, this doesn't make any sense to you, L, E, D, Z, G, N, V, no, and yeah, I moved into the thing, so, but yeah, it's a really simple game. You can find it on itch. It's in browser, you just play it there. It seems like a fun like time sink to just get better at typing. I knocked out the first level. It wasn't super challenging. I think it's only the 3 levels, so it's just kind of a small, fun little puzzle game. Cool. But yeah, when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, let's talk about that today. Let's bring that one up. But yeah, it's if you go to, I guess Managor is the developer. It's managor.itch.io/Daniel Linssen's Typing Challenge. But you probably better just Google it. But yeah, cool game.
It looks cool. I'm gonna give it a try after this.
Yeah, listen, type it up, baby. Type it up. And with that brings us to the end of our show. We had about an hour episode today, Tofr. Probably would have been longer with the first cut, but hey, we refined. We fine-tuned.
Would have been longer. Yeah, listen.
Oh, man.
Life, man. Life.
It's a time. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Playlog. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure if you liked the episode to leave a thumbs up here on YouTube, or if you're on Spotify, Apple, wherever, leave that 5-star review. It helps the podcast grow. Take a moment, just leave that review. It really helps us out. Tofr, if little stinkly dinklies want to find you on the interwebs, where could they go?
The easiest way is through my link tree, which is Play Nice Kids in one word. Also, be sure to check out somanygames.co.uk, where I will be posting my full review of Fretless when I finish the game. And we'll also be posting my review of Wheel World when that releases early next week.
Hell yeah. Other thoughts then? No TTRPGs tonight. Tales of the Valiant, some of the teams out, so we're not playing tonight on stream, so we didn't plug it today. Be sure, if you haven't watched yet, there's 3 episodes with my gorgeous face and voice in it, playing a handsome cowman. Be sure to check it out. And then the July releases video. Check that out. You got some good indies coming out this week, this month, and it'll be a good time. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you in the next one.